so long as like alchemy.
All right, y'all, here we go. Have I ever told y'all about my theory about watch LeBron when he rubs it? He always rubs in his jersey to his undershirt here. It's testosterone laced. It's a special laced undershirt that puts testosterone into the pores of his hands and gives him extra juice during games, as he always does that. I'm messing around. And shout out the Oracle crowd for giving JR a huge ovation. I thought that messed with him psychologically. JaVale getting the start, and look at that. That wasn't not even a slip. That was just a running curl to the rim. And Cleveland's communication on defense was just terrible. But check out Steph. Look at him fight over the screen. Now he decides to go under, and he sticks with him. And we've talked about where his weaknesses lie defensively, and he's getting better, man. He's getting so much better at anticipating and fighting through screens. You see JaVale getting fed by KD. Now watch KD drive here. Watch Love stick to JaVale. So you're seeing his spacing effect right away, and then he causes the ball to hop around. Now, one thing Cleveland tried to do was get Tristan in the post on Klay, maybe test the ankle, but that's fool's gold. Tristan Thompson doesn't have a post game. You see the rotation in the block now. Hill is going to get a basket here, but I thought early on the defense looked decent despite Cleveland scoring well in the first quarter. I liked this drive from Durant. I thought that was a good sign. Calculated aggression. In transition, you've got to make LeBron play defense. I thought that was a good sign. Klay, the high arcing splash. You knew he liked that, how that felt, the way he kind of hopped back. I'm sure most of you heard there was concern if Klay would play or not. Watch Steph here. Tristan sealed, no, he fights, and then he's going to show fight here with the jump ball. So I think Steph really set the tone early on. The defense wasn't great all night, but initially it was good, and Steph really set the tone with his physicality and aggression. J.R. Smith, there's the JaVale effect. He saw JaVale in there, and so it's not always by the numbers. I know he's not great on the perimeter, but he is a rim protector. Steph pulls the trigger. And there's just a confidence about his game and against this defense that we're seeing. Here's the trap. You see where they're picking LeBron up at half court, so George Hill was forced really to shoot more. And I thought he rose to the occasion. He had a decent game, but it's just not in his nature to be a big-time scorer. KD catching it deep with 5 out. That's a different story, much different than Houston. Look at KD making LeBron work. Look how much harder LeBron had to work to get that basket as opposed to game one. So I was very pleased with their game plan on LeBron. Now, moving forward with JR, we may not see much more of him. I think the one adjustment they may make is a Rodney Hood or what's the young kid off the bench. JR may be done. Here's one play where I thought Klay, it showed the ankle. Usually he tries to score there and it resulted in a turnover, but there was very little signs of Klay really being hurt. And then look at the group effort in the paint. Multiple efforts from multiple players. Watch Jeff Green. Jeff Green is a terrible team defender. I'll show you some more examples as this game goes on. Now, the one action Cleveland's run that's hurt us offensively is this screen action in the corner. I'm going to hold it right here. Right here, that's done. Kevin Love, you're not going to stop that. And they're trying not to switch that. But when George Hill's in the action, I'd argue you switch it and you live with George Hill slashing. So freeze it right here. If Klay switches onto Love and takes Love away, George Hill can slip to the rim, but I'd argue that you can defend that better. He's a smaller guard and you can defend him from behind in that scenario. Love rolling there, he's going to finish that every time. Watch Jeff Green here again. And maybe that's a lack of communication. Probably some of that's on JR, but Jeff Green was involved in all of those miscommunication screens at the top. Would we have like 4 dunks in the first 4 minutes? Now watch this play here. This is what we're going to see a lot more of LeBron in Game 3, I'm anticipating. If we're going to continue to pick him up at half court, there's going to be a lot of give and go action trying to get him downhill. Again, Jeff Green gets torched in the pick and roll. You know what? The more I think about it, JR was just as at fault. It was JR and Jeff Green's defense that was just being annihilated. That time, LeBron jumps up. And this goes back to how they lost game 1. There is bad blood in that team locker room, and they're not talking on defense. Now, you pick up a Wall or a Westbrook back here, and you're playing right into their hands. But at this point in LeBron's career, he doesn't like this. This is taking more juice out of his legs than he would like. Now here's the same action in the corner, only it's Korver. But either way, they still have to switch it. You see Klay's late on the switch and he has to hold Nance Jr. But whether it's Love or Korver, I think they're better suited to switch it rather than stay. That's why the play is designed to do. Now watch KD. You see how he got really low there? He didn't let LeBron bump him off his spot, and therefore he knocks it down. And he fought for position in this game. Here's S. Dot and David West. Gang rebounding. I think it was an even rebounding matchup throughout the night. KD knocks it down just within the flow of the offense. But despite how good we were playing, Cleveland was hanging around in this game, and it made me nervous. More Durant, and watch him. We've talked about him deciding when to pass. The last thing on KD's mind should be scoring. That will just come naturally. But look at this angle. He decides to make that pass as soon as he turns the corner. Therefore, it's on time and the ball goes through the net. So it was a masterful game from Durant. Watch David West fight out to the three-point line. Stays down, doesn't foul. Remember, he had a problem fouling three-point shooters in this season and gets the block shot. When I saw that, man, it brought a smile to my face, man, because where there's a will, there's a way. Now watch LeBron here. He's sped up now. You see, now he's playing a little faster. Remember how calm and collected he was? Now he's playing faster, and that's what the on-ball pressure does. Now, we're talking about one of the greatest players of all time, so he can play sped up, right? He continued to make the right reads, but that's not how he wants to play. Watch this. Here we go, another misread. They both stay on Hill and let Love get to his money spot. They've got to prioritize Love in those pick and rolls. Hill is the lesser of evils. I know he shot well, but let's take a look at the patience of this offensive set. And I had mentioned this in my first take video. Golden State just understands that Cleveland is weak defensively. At some point, they will break. They're not going to hold for 24 seconds. And so I think it just gave Golden State more confidence deeper into the clock. I'd love to see Sean do this the rest of this series because unless LeBron is trailing you, they don't have a shot block. They just don't have one. Sean can do that all series long. And watch David West with the Bogut drag screen right there, just moving the booty into Nance, who is kind of poor defensively on the perimeter through this game. Steph cashes in. Back to the fool's gold that is posting Tristan Thompson. They did manage to get a third foul on Klay here. But I think it's just as much to attack his ankle. When he's got to push on Tristan Thompson's big frame, that's putting strain on the ankle. So these are tactics that are used. Let's not be naive. And I'm fine with it. I'm not calling it dirty. I'm just saying that maybe normally you'd be all right with Klay down there, and maybe you want to get him off that, considering the ankle. And then Draymond, the extra pass. Look at JaVale with the soft touch. 12 points, 6 of 6 shooting. Off a turnover, LeBron, not quite the legs you're used to seeing, but watch Draymond take away his launch point. You see where Draymond met him? He knew where LeBron wanted to take off from, and that took away the power of his liftoff. Steph pushes it back. Now watch Durant make this play. I ask you this, if Looney's in there, does Durant make that pass? Is he even looking to make that pass? That's what I was alluding to, the effect that McGee has as far as ball movement goes. Everybody's looking to make another pass because everybody's hunting a dunk in the roar at Roracle. Steph, the pull-up three. Van Gundy's mentioned this a lot, but Steph is an underrated rebounder. He rebounds very well for his size, and then the patented pull-up. How many times did he do that in the Houston series? Not many, man. It's got to be freeing to play this Cleveland's defense, and look at the salt from the national media headed into halftime. Now, third quarter, we let our foot off the pedal a little, and Cleveland adjusted. Now, JaVale traps, but watch. He looks to go back to the rim. He's got to go find a shooter. Once he's that far out on the floor, that's just a lack of experience from JaVale playing that high out, right? He's got to go find a shooter. He can't go get back to the rim. Here we go to the corner. He just sells out. And those are tendencies we've seen from JaVale in the past. So they did make adjustments and attack JaVale, getting him out on the perimeter in this third quarter. But look at him strong arm the ball. A give and a take. So what Cleveland did here is they know LeBron's getting picked up early, so watch them set a double screen here at half court. Now KD gets caught scrambling, and there's got to be more communication. There's more space to make plays. And again, it's McGee trying to stick to the paint, sticking to his nature. Look for more of those high picks in game 3 if we're going to continue to pick up the ball pressure. KD answering with the 3 balls he loves to do. One thing I think Draymond can take Tristan out that far. You see him get the foul there, and then look at Tristan. He doesn't know whether he wants to kiss him or punch him because he's a weirdo. We definitely need to monitor those two through the rest of the series. We do not need any suspensions. And Steph's physicality, man, doing what he does. Now, KD sticks too late. He really isn't helping there, and then Hill knocks down the 3. And Cleveland was due to make some threes in this third quarter, but I think there was just a natural letdown. Things were coming so easy that they kind of let up a little bit on the defensive end. There's the roll and one from JaVale. KD didn't spend a whole lot of time on LeBron because of the screening, but when he did, look at him suck up the space. And we'll live with that, needless to say. How about this, though? This was nasty. This was nasty. And I brought this up pregame. Klay is heated at JR. He's saying all the right things. Klay, you know how I feel about it, and I think Klay feels the same damn way. Here's a play where JaVale, I think he just got tired, right? We all know he doesn't have the greatest stamina. He's not a heavy minutes player. Cleveland hanging in this third quarter. Now watch Durant. He catches it in the elbow, but this, I wanted him to do this so bad in Houston. Look at him back out. This is where he's at his best, face up in space. And then he goes right to his little patented spot. I thought there was too much posting of Kevin Durant in these playoffs. Here's the rare Draymond miscommunication, leaving Love wide open, and I think they just kind of got rocked to sleep in this third. But it also helps when Cleveland's making their shots. In that game one, we got away with a lot of open looks that they missed. Clay big boying Tristan at the rim. Here's some very game one-like action. Steph tries to get back, but he doesn't hold LeBron long enough for KD to recover, and it results in the lob at the rim. Now, let's take a look at this. Now Steph makes contact. He holds him for LeBron. Guess who's at fault in this? It's Clay. He needs to be right there so he can jump to either pass LeBron makes, but he lets LeBron make the easy pass one away, and then he's late on the closeout, but we get bailed out from JR. Now here's the play all the Cavs fans are crying about, and yeah, it was a foul, but I think the referees thought LeBron was going to catch it and finish the dunk, and then they just didn't blow the whistle. But the T was suspect, I'll admit that. But hey, man, the free throws there wasn't a huge discrepancy. They outshot us, and I showed this play to show that we'll all remember Steph's brilliance in this game, but at that point, he was 4 of 11 from downtown. Now watch what happens when you let LeBron go freely. See how when they pick him up late, it's too late, and he gets all the way to the rim to the left side. But Steph had a really nice floor game, but he didn't really find his stroke till later in this game. Jordan Bell, that's a great extra pass, and it's killer. Although I have to say, I wouldn't have minded him going up and trying to smash on Jeff Green, and then this happened, man. I think that block charge call on Durant helped him be a better passer in this game. He realized some of the passes he was missing, and David West rewards him. And when he hit that one, you kind of felt like, oh, there ain't no way we losing this one. And then this happens here. Jordan Bell making LeBron work. I know it wasn't the smartest of fouls because it was free throws, but I love it. I absolutely love it. I love his fight. Did y'all see him mouthing bitch-ass motherfucker to LeBron, excuse my language, and then Iguodala schooling him, telling him you have to wait. You have to wait. And that's one thing young defenders don't understand on inbounds is you can't tell the offensive player what you want to do too soon because the inbounder may hold the ball. A lot of kids start defending while the ref still has the ball, and it kind of blows your timing on your defense. Bell with the steal, and then peep this action here. So Steph gets this three. Now, Kendrick Perkins didn't put his legs out, right? He just didn't move them. But I thought this is what got Steph going. I had mentioned he was 4 of 11 from downtown going into the fourth quarter. And then I love that Draymond and KD come running over, right? We've seen this team stand united. And then he just had a little attitude to start this. Nance gets put on skates and he drops the three. And y'all know what happened from here. I had mentioned Nance getting more minutes in this and being a good perimeter defender. Look at him die here. That's just inexcusable. I want you to peep Steph's mentality after these baskets. Look, that's not the normal smiling Steph, right? And I love it, man. I love agitated, get at me Steph, and that's what's going to lock in his finals MVP. A picture says 1,000 words as he lets them know it's time to wave the white flag in this one. One play I keep getting a kick out of is watch this slip screen from Sean here. He literally has like 14 of his 20 points in the series off that slip screen, and it's been butt naked every time. You got to wonder what LeBron's mental state is at this point. And Draymond, I'd love to see Draymond start on LeBron in Game 3. We know that's going to be their final rally cry, and his physicality and just being the nuisance that he is going to wear on LeBron. Because you question how much he has left, as amazing as he is mentally. He's going to start to wear down and lose belief. Steph with the ultimate demoralizer splashing off the top of the roof. Is Cleveland going to just continue to let Love out on an island here? Because you can look at the tape and say, oh, he's playing good defense, but there's more to it than that. Steph feels very confident. That's the difference. Steph knows he can get what he wants. It doesn't matter where Love is on the floor. They're going to have to trap Steph in Game 3. I think that's coming. KD letting everybody know he's rebounding in this one. And here comes the 4-point play. Now, normally when Steph gets one of these, right, he counts 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Now, peep his demeanor during this. I think Steph is learning now he needs to fabricate a chip on his shoulder. He has so much glory, so much success. What left is going to drive him? And we're seeing him shift into a different mind state, not as freelance, a little agitated Steph. Now, one thing Looney does here, here's the defense to that corner shot. Looney never rolls. He never rolls after his screens. He doesn't want the ball, and it hurts the offense when they trap off those. So if they're going to trap Steph, Looney can't play much because he's not an outlet. He never rolls. But we roll Cleveland late in this game and take care of business. Obviously, Game 3 will be the toughest. And I hear you, Major, and others talking. You would suspect Cleveland gets every whistle in this Game 3. But considering, I'll bring it up, how they lost Game 1, the lack of trust, how much LeBron has left, I think if we somehow get Game 3, even if the refs don't want to let us get it, I think we sweep. I'm out, y'all.